Hey guys, it's Angela. It has taken me a little while to get this. I did have my little boy last Wednesday. It was July 22nd when I had him. His name is Camden James, and his first name is spelled Camden, Camden, and he's just awesome. Um, we're just going to call him Cam. Hey Cam. Until he gets in trouble, then he's going to be Camden James. But here he is. He's sleeping. He's always got his hand by his face like that. Even in ultrasound pictures, we always saw his hand on one cheek or the other. He's a little booger. When he's sleeping, he looks like he's got these real squinty little Chinese eyes. Actually, what that is Tony, Daddy. He's got very, very, very deep set eyes, and it's just, it's just a really, really. Oh, I love Tony's face. He's got such neat bone structure, and his deep set eyes and nose is just a really neat feature of his. And I was really hoping that Camden would have that, and he does. If you compare their baby pictures, they're absolutely identical. Camden is a mini-me of Tony. He's got a little, he's got the little dimple on his chin, so he does have a cleft chin, same as Tony. And actually, I kind of have a little bit of a cleft in my chin also. Even for a woman, I kind of do. So we figured he would. And then he does have little tiny dimples. You can see him when he's kind of sucking. But he does have those dimples, and that was something else that I was really hoping that he would have. That's a feature of my dad, and that kind of pulled through a little bit. So he does have little tiny little dimples. And the only thing he really has of me is his dark hair. And then the tip of his nose, if you compare our baby pictures, the tip of his nose kind of looks a little more like mine, but everything else is Daddy. He is Daddy's boy all the way. He's a really good baby. He's just awesome. He likes to make a lot of faces. Yes, you do. Oh, goodness. What you doing, Cam? Oh. Are you going to wake up? Well, don't wake up for a few minutes, because Mama's got to do this. Look at that little cleft chin. You are going to be handsome. Oh. Makes me want to cry. Anyway. So, basically, as everybody knows, well, wait a minute. No, I guess I put this more on my Facebook account than I did YouTube, but I really never thought that I would go overdue, but I did. And of course, I mean, really, for any pregnant woman knows, once you get to about 37 weeks, that point where, you know, they say everything's going to be okay, you start going, okay, anytime now, and you start looking to find ways to induce labor and all that. And I never thought that I would get to 40 weeks. I really didn't, but I did. And then I got over 40 weeks, and I was really looking for any way to meet my little boy. So I would do a lot of walking and all the other little tricks that you can do. Um, then I'm hearing some kind of noise outside. What is that? Where's my kitty? Anyway, then on... You got my cat sniffing the baby. Hold on. What are you doing? Anyway, on July 20th, which was a Monday, I had a doctor's appointment, and I went in and I had them strip my membranes, and didn't really feel like it really did much. I mean, I know it can take a little while, take a few hours to really feel like it did anything, and then of course, you know, if it works, they usually say 24 to 48 hours, whatever. Um, But, so I had that done, and yes, that is not a pleasant thing to have done. It wasn't nearly as bad as I thought it was. I think I psyched myself up like it was really going to be bad, and I was practically in tears before even having it done. But it wasn't really that bad. So I had that done. And then the next day I went into my chiropractor, and I asked him to just do an adjustment, a last minute adjustment before having him. And I happened to ask him, I said, do you happen to know any acupressure points, that kind of thing, to stimulate labor? And he goes, not acupressure. He goes, but I actually do acupuncture. And he goes, but I don't really advertise it, and I've never really done the pregnancy-inducing points. And that's something that he wanted to try to see if it worked. And he goes, I tell you what. He goes, you go ahead. If you want to do this, we'll do it, being that you're trying to induce, and I won't charge you, and if it works, you can be my testimonial. And I'm like, all right, let's do it. So that means on Tuesday, the 21st, I had acupuncture done. And they actually put like right here, and then on my feet or ankles or whatever, he put needles, and I sat there laid there and relaxed for about a half an hour or so. Kind of let that work, and I did have a couple little contractions while having that done, but nothing, nothing major. And then of course he said, make sure I take a walk immediately after having that done. And by the way, this was at 6:30 at night that I had that done. I actually left there at about 7:15 p.m. And so I left there and I did what he said. I took about a 20-minute walk, but I didn't think that was going to do anything because I've been walking like crazy anyway, and nothing with the walking was working. And so my friend and I went for a 20-minute walk, exactly 20 minutes. And throughout that walk, I had about 3 or 4 little contractions. I didn't really think anything of it still because, I don't know, I just didn't. I'd been having contractions on and off and nothing major, and I just figured it's more false stuff, so I didn't really think anything of it. About 9 o'clock that night on the 21st, I really started to feel like, wait a minute, maybe this is something, because those contractions were getting more and more and more intense, I guess you could say, a little closer together, not quite consistent, but getting close. And I was using the Contraction Master thing online, and I started seeing that several of them would be like 5 and 6 minutes apart, and then I'd go like 9 or 10 minutes, and then I'd go to 7 minutes, and then I'd go to 4 minutes, and then I'd go back to 9 minutes, and so it was just kind of sporadic and stuff, but they were coming like frequently. And I thought, gosh, and still the pain wasn't really all that bad, and I thought, well, if these are the bad contractions, I can handle this, whatever. So I told Tony, I said, possibly something is working, just get a good night's sleep. I'm going to go try to get some sleep, and you never know, maybe something will be in the hospital tomorrow. And he's like, yeah, whatever, Neither one of us really believed that it was happening. And so, probably 10:30, 11 o'clock or so, he went to bed, and I went ahead and I tried to go to bed, and as I laid there, it was just contraction after contraction after contraction, and I was watching the clock, and it was it got to be consistently 5 to 6 minutes apart, and I think it was about, I just laid there, but I think it got to be about 1:30 in the morning, and I hadn't fallen to sleep at all yet. So I had been up since that morning, the 21st, that morning. I hadn't gotten any sleep at all. I think I woke up at like 8 something on the 21st. So, it was getting late and I was getting tired, but I was hurting, so I couldn't sleep. And I watched the clock and I thought, you know what, if one more comes within 5 to 6 minutes, I'm going to get up and I'm going to take a shower and start getting ready, because I think we're going to have to end up going within the next few hours. I figured, 5 to 6 minutes apart, I wasn't going to go to the hospital, but I figured that it was coming. So I figured I had a couple hours and, would be able to go. So another one did come. I got up and I took a shower, and in the shower, I was reaching out of the shower and hitting the Contraction Master button to time the contractions. And as I'm in the shower, all of a sudden they're 3 and 4 minutes apart.